Hi everybody and welcome back to Hex Token channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the Pulsechain again, doing another look at it, and also Hex and its legal challenge against Binance hashtag coin market cap, which I think is going to be pretty epic. Long time coming. A lot of people have talked about it. I think it's a pretty big deal, and so we're going to have a quick look at that. We're not going to read the whole thing. It's 46 pages long, but we're going to have a quick look through it. It is a big deal for sure. So I hope you guys are having a good time. Obviously, we're on the Pulsechain website at the moment. Let's just quickly check the audio, make sure that's up to running, up to scratch. Yep, that's looking good. So let's get straight into it. So we've got a few comments in the chat there already from Neil, who's in there early. Nice one, Neil. Good to see you again as always. Neil says, start dumping my only liquid hex today. It's looking like we want to find the bottom now. I actually thought it's bouncing back a bit there, Neil. So we'll quickly check that on the chart. So here's the hex chart. That's the daily there. I think it actually kind of hit 3 times at around the 35-cent mark. And we get a low of about 33.6 there yesterday. So, but definitely a nice jump back up here, up at 39.5. I kind of been fighting around this this zone of 40 cents to 38 cents. It's kind of seems where most of the fight is there. And hey, a good chance that it's going to move up and attack that 50. Now we've got spikes on the 50-cent mark here, but back on the 10th and 9th. But they're really bot spikes. So really waiting to see us attack that 50-cent line with a solid move over as well. So obviously, Hex does get botted a lot by big, massive trades. 300 ETH, big US dollar ETH bots come in and play to both sides to drain the pool. Now, so that's an issue that it does have. And so we're waiting for the attack that 50-cent mark. And obviously, if it does attack that, then we're looking to move over 60 cents, kind of the idea there. And as we can see, we had pretty powerful moves up as well. So I'm still very bullish around the Hex price. Obviously, in the Hexing community, there's a lot of Hexicans in the Hexing community as well. There was a Hex free claim at the beginning, so that's a big part. But there are a lot of Hex OGs and other Hex people around in the Hexing community as well. So that's pretty cool. Let's get into some of the comments here before we move into some of our discussion today. Get into the chat, of course. Always, everybody, the whole community is a great way of finding new information. So if you heard something and it's not discussed, let us know. All right, so we've got Neil's in there. Hi, sirs. Hey, good to see you, Neil, as always, I said. And a bit of a drop to retest the 171 low, but it needs to be done to confirm a safe re-entry. I'm in for it. So I'm not sure what that metric is there, Neil. So is that the ratio? Some other pair. Fun times, Neil says, and but not for those in the Chinese stock market. No, I bet it's not. I think there's problems over there, big time, particularly property market. Wait for my loan to get approved. Bloody bank going down a few times this week didn't help. That's always a problem, mate. That's why we like the decentralized world, right? A lot better than the centralized, controlled one. Neil, hopefully with time it will bottom and I'll go all in. Nice. Yeah, go all in. That's all good. Hey, David Gomez in the house. Hit the like button, everybody. Yeah, hit that like button. Do appreciate that, David. Good to see you as always. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. Hit the share. Hit the bell, of course, for future videos. Obviously, I cover a lot of different topics on this chain. Pretty open-minded. Hope you guys appreciate that. And yeah, good to see that. We got Alex K in the house, our head moderator on the chat. Great to have Alex. Alex is an abundance of knowledge there too with Alex. So Pulse update, yeah, definitely. Sweet shit, I always manage to F it up. Yeah. That's all good. Hey, it is crypto. You don't always get 100% things good calls. Some whale put nice big bids at 34, 32, and 30 cents. Seems like a big dip has been cancelled. Yeah, I think so too, Alex. I'm with you on that one. Number for hashtag 5 thumbs up. Nice one, Neil. And yeah, Alex, it didn't go my way for sure. Yeah, so she's thinking that's looking pretty good at this stage on the Hex price. So let's turn it into a weekly candle and let's see how that goes. Look at that, beautiful on the weekly, eh? So you're bound after these big ramp ups here to have a bit of a pullback there. If you get too much of an exponential move where you keep getting more green candles, you just setting yourself up for a bit of trouble there. So it's nice to see a little bit of pullback, but then just solid consolidate, and then you can move up again. Pretty nice on that. We've got pretty predictable waves in here, going 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to get a fifth wave. It's kind of the idea. And I think a dollar on the target for this year is pretty reasonable, and as high as $1.50 as well. So $1 on a conservative basis for this year, and $1.50 at least. And of course, with the Pulsechain launching, that could be even higher. So it is, once we get into those dollars, the price starts moving by 5-10 cents. You know, it really does move a bit different. At the moment, we're kind of moving by the 1 cent marks, but on that day, you can move. You know, once you get over $1, you can move a lot faster. The other thing, of course, being $1, it's a psychological level for bigger buyers as well. They go, oh, $1, and so they can relate to that a lot more too. It's kind of, there's some of those psychology stuff there. Alex K was saying, well, I was hoping for 30 cents entry as well, but it was what it was. Let's see what happens. Waiting for testnet launch for Pulse with the next big leg. Absolutely. Next big leg up in price to Hex Oakley. Absolutely. Yeah, so what's coming up? We know that the bugs were worked out with the syncing. And we talked about that 2 days ago when we had a live stream. And now we're looking at waiting for the Pulse testnet to come out. After that, of course, that will so that may be within 2 months. That must be the last 2 months or be within 2 months. So we're waiting for that. Some people are talking about November 19 launch for Pulsechain. So we're going to have this test net, then we're going to have the fork, and then we're going to have, we might get a few days for the fork. It's hard to know with Richard. Get a few days warning, hard to know. Get that ramp up. I think that's probably what he will do to get the more price value ramped up. And then, of course, the actual Pulsechain going live, and pretty awesome. The biggest airdrop, and of course, price discovery is going to be pretty wicked stuff there. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other new things coming around these days with other chains, you know, Solana and you know, Solana was Arbitrium and stuff like that, all coming into the mix. So you've got different things going on, but I think it's going to be pretty awesome for Pulse on the layer 1 on the Ethereum blockchain. So I think that's going to be pretty exciting stuff. Own your keys, right? Own your keys, you own your coins. I think that's the big thing I like about it too. On a second layer, of course, you're taking on that risk that you don't own the coins anymore, right? So it's another thing to take into account. Now, obviously, spending a lot of time on Polygon Matic, been doing a lot of time on there, but only a certain percentage of the portfolio goes on to second layer stuff, right? I think it's probably, you got to think about your security from that point of view. And obviously, we saw a few issues already with Solana and a couple of others in Arbitrum. ETH survived an attack as well, so you just got to be careful there as well. All right, so that's kind of overview of the Hex price there, looking pretty solid in my view. Let's see how it goes. Maybe consolidate for 2 weeks and then move back up. That was kind of the feeling there. So if we take that back into the daily on the Hex price, we can see that we're already, you know, well into the first week of that sort of moves sideways. Maybe in a couple more days and then move up. Let's see how we go. All right, so anyway, here's the Pulsechain, of course. Pulsechain's got all these extra benefits as well, so don't forget all these things. Obviously, cheaper, faster, staking with validators, some of the key things there to take off that. Obviously, bridging. Hopefully, we'll have that sort of bridging coming up. Obviously, there'll be Pulse ETH, Pulse ETH and Pulse Pulse Hex. So there's going to be people trying to grab that value. A lot of people now think that value may only be around about 1 day or something at max, and then people will, you know, then the price of Pulse ETH, Pulse Hex, sorry, will match EHEX, and then so there'll be a short-lived opportunity there. The other side of it, of course, some people are saying maybe a big buyer comes in onto ETH and buys a lot of that volume up. So we'll check that out now, and maybe that's a different scenario. Where there's not much EHEX to be copied over. Liquid, it gets, all the stuff gets bought out. You know, a lot of it gets bought out, and so that's going to be a short-lived price discovery. So we'll watch out for all those sort of things, all those sort of gamifications come up. Do know a lot of people, of course, are accumulating their tokens to get ready for the copy when Pulsechain does the fork, and so there's a lot of people set themselves up for that too. All right, so that's pretty much that. Let's have a quick look at the Hex daily stats as well. So obviously Hex is kind of the flagship, going to be a flagship product on Pulse to start off with, besides the Pulse coin itself. So both of those are going to be pretty exciting. And then obviously a lot of the leader ERC20s will also be pretty important. Let's quickly go into some of the key metrics here. What else? I just want to point out a couple of these metrics. Let's go all the way up. Don't forget, T-share price is always going up, just pretty much, or T-share rate's always going up, I should say. So that's this column here. Regardless of what happens to the Hex price, the T-share rate always is going up pretty much. So it's 18,6252 per T-share now on day one. And obviously you can stake longer for more T-shares. It really is getting up expensive. Obviously, if the Hex price keeps pumping, then the T-share price will get pretty high. Now it's reached as high as 9,000, and man, so close to 10,000. Once it sort of gets to that vicinity, people start talking less about T-shares and more about B shares. That's billions of shares. So now instead of talking about $10,000 a T-share, you start talking about $10 a B share. So that terminology, and I expect that people are talking about that by Christmas time. People already started, but I think it'll be becoming far more commonplace talking about B shares probably about this Christmas. That's how fast this thing's going, folks. Remember that it used to be 60 cents a T share, and it got up as high as 9,000 the other day, and so 10,000 is not too far short, depending, all you have to do is break that 50-cent mark, that 10,000x at 52, 53 cents. Alex and I were talking about that last time. It won't take much to get to that for sure. All right, so here's what I want to talk about: the liquidity pool. Obviously, a big game play, mate. If there's big enough whales that may come in and do the big buy and buy out a lot of this liquid Hex, and obviously pump the price of Hex, but also reduce the amount it'll be available for smaller players to try and game the system before the fork, and they'll get all the copy, and there'll be less liquid Hex available on the Pulsechain side. So that's going to be an interesting play if that does play out. Obviously, all you need is a couple of big whales to come and play that strategy. The other side of it, of course, is that that may not happen, and so maybe a lot of the smaller players will be able to fight for getting that value on Pulsechain for pHex. That's going to be pretty interesting. The other side, of course, people are going to get their pulse from the sacrifice address. How many of them will hold their pulse and play the pulse game? How many of them will sell to try and play the pHex game, or to try and pick up more of the other leading tokens like Unique Token and stuff like that? So it's going to be a lot of game on there. That's part of the excitement. No one really knows. It's going to be pretty exciting though. And I definitely in the camp where I expect, obviously, due to the cheaper pulse fees, that pHex will probably be at a premium against eHex. That's pretty much the wrap up there for that. All right, so that's pretty cool. What else we got there that's pretty interesting? What I wanted to point out was the number of T shares in total on Hex is 10, 11 million, 60,000. You can see the plus and minuses over the last 10 days. So it's still up at 11 million. I don't think it's ever going to be higher than that. I think it's even with adoption going really, really well, I think that will start to reduce over time, is my feeling, and that this could be sort of around the high period at the moment. We'll see soon. We might have a one more surge maybe. I don't think we'll get to 12 million. And because obviously big payday was the big one on 19th of November last year, where the Origin wallet staked and went up to like 98.3 or something percent, 98.7 maybe. So I don't think we'll see that again. Be interested in your thoughts on that one, Alex. Let me know in the chat. The other side of it is, of course, what else we got here? The staking has been going up tremendously. Look at the stake supply. Look at this going up. Pretty amazing numbers day. Like even 4 days ago, we had a quarter of a billion Hex stake there. That was pretty nice. Yesterday was a bit of a negative day, 10 million, but other than that, it's been all positive increases in stakes. Pretty awesome stuff on that. What else is the stake percentage? 9.82 10 days ago, now 9.89. That's actually quite a decent move. And of course, almost 10%. Can you believe it? So the inflation for Hex is 3.69, and of course, 10% staked would give you, 36% APR or whatever. So that's pretty cool. That's APR we're using, yeah, APY I should say. So pretty cool on that. And what else we got? So that's pretty interesting, that figure going. Remember, it was way back down at 9.3 or something like that during the sacrifice phase or something like that. So awesome stuff. The other thing I want to point out was the penalties at the moment are coming in here as well. They get added to your interest for payout of your stake. So obviously stakers win with all the penalties. So it sort of gives you an idea. They used to be a bit down at about this amount that we're at the moment for quite a while, but then of course we've had quite high penalties throughout this period. Look at all those 8 million. That's pretty high. Those penalties. So had a whole week of super high penalties. Pretty amazing. Last time we saw that, of course, was during the first week of Pulsechain. Obviously getting a lot of people stakers. The other thing, of course, is that the staking, global staking profile for Hex, it was been high all year, and the next 3 months is where we've got the last big candles. After that, it really drops off. So it's going to be interesting to see that play out. That's implies more scarcity, I guess. People will stake for longer, trying to fight for their T shares. Those are in the culture of staking will be fighting for more T shares because they're going to get harder and harder to get over time. So we're looking forward to that as well. So I think that's pretty interesting with the penalties. Then the other two key metrics, of course, total change in holders. Look at those beautiful numbers. These are beautiful numbers, and this is still, in my view, it's kind of pre-viral, and it's looking stellar, like 2,000 a day. Pretty nice, 1,500. We've tapered off for the last couple of days, but these numbers are pretty epic, man, to get that sort of increase. And you can see from 10 days ago, we're at 335,000 up to 347. So it's really nice gains there for sure. Alex said today made 3 new 10-year stakes. It's not easy to say goodbye to thousands of dollars for 10 years. I agree with you there, Alex. It does take quite a kind of a psychology change, also a cultural change, but it's only worth staking in projects that you have the high probability in, right? And I think Hex has shown that so far. So it's probably one of the few projects that you'd want to do 10-year stakes. So obviously you want to get some of the leading certificate deposit projects. Definitely the better way to go for that. You also need a great team behind it, typically a younger team as well. If the product's not finished, obviously Hex is considered a finished product, but if you're in a product that's got a lot of dynamics evolving to get the tokenomics right, to get the growth and stuff like that, then you need to make sure that you've got a nice, young, talented team that's dedicated, committed, invested themselves. So those are the other considerations you need to take into account, because there's only going to be a certain amount of winners, right? Only a few winners out of all the crypto projects. There's going to be a certain amount of winners that are going to really be long-lasting, good returns. Right, so this number of stakers is really cool, and of course the number of change in current stakers as well has been going up pretty well as well. So look at those, some really awesome results. Change in total stakers there, looking really good. So if you've got Staker app, of course, you'll be able to see that looking stellar. And here we are, what, 58,600 based on yesterday's close a couple hours ago. And of course, the total stake is 72,991. Nice. All right, so that's pretty much that for that. All right, so let's quickly get out of that. Let's go quickly check out Richard Hart's latest tweets. Obviously, Richard Hart's been having a bit of fun on the old Twitter. In the meantime, we're waiting for the testnet. And he's been in a bath, I think, been in a bath. I couldn't believe he posted himself in a bath. There's him posting himself in a bath. That's hilarious. And then he's got his trousers down the bottom there. It's getting pretty risque on the good old Richard Hart Twitter. Hey, we know he's a bit of a wild boy at heart, so no surprises there. Driving fast cars as well. He knows how to have a bit of fun. So pretty cool. All right, so let's scroll up to the top here, and yes, just pointing out a couple of the issues that we've talked about with the blockchain. Some of them getting attacked and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Here's the big deal, of course, full days of the formality. This was only 6 hours ago. Filed complaint as a matter of public record. So obviously Hex has faced a lot of gatekeeping on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap, of course, owned by Binance. So conflict of interest there too. Feel free to share your opinion, but the court gets the final word. Opinion, ideas, or wishful thinking can stop it now. It's real and it's happening. So here it is here. And so if we open up that link, I'll post that link in the video description if you want to check out the actual full document. Hex legal challenge or fight, I guess. You can check that in detail. We're just going to go briefly through some of it. Pretty awesome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, hit the bell, of course. And if you want to join as a member of the channel, hit that join button. We've got Axie Knights, Elites, Heroes, and Krakens. Does help support the growth of the channel. Pretty nice. All right, there we are. That's the link there. I'm going to be doing other projects as well. Obviously, I do prefer the leading certificate deposits on the channel. So Hex, Axie, and Wise, pretty the top three. I don't mind dabbling, having a little look at other ones, like Rex and things like that, but they are much more riskier as well. So I do like looking at those. Also like looking at chains as well. So I like looking at the chains, a lot of value in that. A lot of the exchanges, of course, a lot of value in those. We see those are dominating the top 100 in crypto. Also NFTs, particularly NFTs, but I only like NFT ones if the technology is super advanced, like Phantasma, stuff like that. So take that into account. All right, let's get straight into it. So here we are in the document at the moment. I've already been down a few pages here, looking at a few stuff. So pretty cool. This is filed today. I think this is awesome they've done this. And let's have a look. It's between Ryan Cox, sorry, individually and on behalf of all similarly situated. It's a class action complaint. and a jury trial is demanded. All right, and that's versus CoinMarketCap, Binance Capital Management, Binance and Binance.com, BAM Trading Services, Changping Zhao, Catherine Coley, Yihe Tedlin, and Does IX. Interesting name, that last one there. So they're the defendants, folks, and it's on. It's game on. As we can see on Richard, it is game on here. I think there was another post down here. It's happening. The course case fighting CMC's gatekeeping of Hex has been filed. So this is pretty awesome. And that might actually bode well for the price, Hex price as well. That might be a nice catalyst for that. So interesting stuff there. All right, so basically, this is basically claiming that you know, CoinMarketCap is gatekeeping Hex, which you know it is. So there we are. We'll see how it gets on. Obviously, got a certain points of issues. Now, there's obviously a suppression period is where it gets to. So the plaintiff, here's number 3. Plaintiff alleges the defendants have worked by various unlawful means to artificially suppress the value of Hex and artificially inflate the value of other cryptocurrencies. Wow, 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 wow. So pretty intense, but I think it's well overdue for sure, for sure. So it's going to be pretty good to see how that plays out. Now, there's lots of rationale in here. I'm not going to go through all that because I don't want to bore you guys with reading through all this. But it is pretty impressive. Here's a nice little chart by one of the commentators in another article, just showing the structure there as well about value. So pretty cool. It's got the partners, jurisdiction, and venue. I'm going to scroll through some of the. Let me just scroll through a bit of this, trying to get to the some of the better parts. So there's lots of references about how the market's organized and how values collected and implying control. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And some of these comments are here following. I'm just going to go down because I wanted to get to the. Let me just scroll down to the. So here's kind of talking about the Hex listing and the suppression around the market cap and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of detail around that here. And also this one here I thought was interesting. The link on CoinMarketCap under Hex that takes users to Binance.com does not inform users that they are being directed to Binance subsidiary, but instead invites users to purchase cryptocurrency through Binance. So similarly, the landing page at which the users arrive after clicking the links states that the site belongs to Binance in the upper left-hand corner and directs users to Binance. So it's going to be game on with some of this stuff, and that's hilarious. And I thought this one here, back 53, users that click on the buy button are directed to either blockchain.com or Binance websites. However, despite appearances to the contrary, Hexes cannot be purchased via either blockchain.com or Binance. So I think this will really get some traction on these kind of issues that are being pointed out. So I thought that was pretty cool on there. Let me just scroll back down here. So it really is taking that control setup and obviously stuff like that. So let's scroll back further down here. I was talking about the Binance ecosystem there. Let me just scroll down. It is 46 pages, so it's quite long. That's why once you start going through it, it can take a bit of time. Also going to get back up here. Let me just scroll back down here. Yeah, so it's just challenging some of the prices that are being used around in a market cap that's being reported. Yeah, so here, indeed, CoinMarketCap represented as of that date and time, the CMC team has verified the Hex market cap to be 62 billion. Some product and multiplying the price reported by CoinMarketCap.com by the circulating supply verified by CoinMarketCap.com with a minor variation. So this is really the heart of the data there about the coin market cap, which is probably the biggest issue, right? Because otherwise we'd be, it'd be ranked up a lot higher. Hex verified market cap should see it ranked 6 near the top of the first page as of September the 13th, 2021. This ranking would place it between Binance Coin and XRP. So it's really the heart of the gatekeeping there. Instead, Hex was ranked number 201 on third page of results. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So here. We want justice, so if you're a Hex holder, you should be very, happy about this being proceeded. So pretty cool stuff. Then it goes into, on page 22 out of 46, starts going into general allegations, and that was the intro that we just went through. So pretty cool. CoinMarketCap provides an assessment of the market cap for various cryptocurrencies and ranks cryptocurrencies on the basis of their overall market cap in comparison to those of other cryptocurrencies. Though Hex was the best performing cryptocurrency of 2020, CoinMarketCap locked Hex's rank at 201 and sometime that year, and has refused to adjust it based on the Hex performance as related to cryptocurrencies ever since. Obviously, because Hex also offers a yield, right? Like we talked about, 38 or 40% yield, and of course, Binance trying to offer their yield, yield offers and stuff like that. So it really is a big issue here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Hilarious stuff. These historical rankings reveal Hex was ranked 20th as recently as September 2020, in line with CoinMarketCap's estimation of Hex market cap. However, by September 27th, 2020, the suppression period had begun. I love this stuff. This is so cool. It's nice to see someone actually taking some legal action on this. Pretty nice. Because these guys are getting away with it, right? They're getting away with Wild West stuff. Now, we in crypto, we like Wild West, but when you get such hegemony, it does get a bit out of control. You've got to have some limits on it. So pretty cool. Hex ranking remains locked. Yeah. All right. So here's the start of suppression period, 27th of September, as being put in this class action in any case. The CoinMarketCap.com website provides only 4 snapshots a month of historical rankings. Plaintiff is currently unaware of exactly when exactly the suppression period began, but expects that the discovery will reveal a precise answer to that question. Imagine if you get in. So Discovery getting in behind their information, maybe their emails, maybe a formal manipulation in the software, updating the websites, all that sort of stuff. Man, this is what they're trying to get with Discovery. So be pretty hardcore. They may get an out-of-court settlement. You see, that's I guess that may be part of the play with the class action. Binance and CoinMarketCap may just concede. Go, hey, whoa, okay, I don't think we're going to win this if you guys get if you get granted, all the stuff. Maybe it's not worth it. So we'll see how this plays out. Just the threat of the class action might be enough. But it's Casey Alex, what's up? Hey, very cool. Alex Casey's very thorough lawsuit. Let's see what happens next. Grab the popcorn and enjoy. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there, Alex. So here we are. Locking of Hex ranking has caused Hex to trade at lower prices that would have had the ranking not been locked, and that's the big thing, right? Definitely the market that's in that, like if Hex was ranked, where it should be in the top 10, then you got investment institutions, you got indexes, all sorts of stuff that invest on that, maybe have a basket of investments. You got all sorts of stuff. You got obviously the big number of users that look at it, even though a lot of people have, have moved off, or just the index alone. There's, like Ontonomics.com or CoinGecko or others. It still has, probably number one, still used, especially by the, the big money guys, as it were. The higher cryptocurrency is ranked, the higher up it appears on the homepage. Website for interested users to purchase. Users must scroll through additional pages to view the lower ranked cryptocurrencies. One of the cryptocurrencies listed on MarketCap.com's website is the Binance coin. Upon information and belief, Binance coin was issued by Binance. So it gets into a lot more of that, folks. This keeps going on to that. According to Nomics, Hex true market cap was 58.3 billion as of July the 1st, 2021, and this market cap Hex should have been ranked 3rd in size as of July 2021. So this gets to the heart. These comments here get to the heart of the issue. So it's pretty cool. As of July 2021, CoinMarketCap listed Hex market cap just over 25 billion. Shock and horror, right? Shock and horror. Even that market cap, Hex should have been ranked 6th in size as of July 2021. As of July 2021, market cap instead ranked Hex 201 in size. Accordingly, as of July 21, Hex appeared only on the 3rd page of CoinMarketCap's results. Upon information belief, some other websites that allow users to buy cryptocurrencies also present them in the order they are found in CoinMarketCap's ranking, and that's my point that I made. That's just the way it works. At the same time, smaller ranking websites like Nomics.com, CoinRanking.com, Yahoo Crypto, etc., all had Hex ranking between 4th and 10th in size as of June 18th. So that's pretty nice. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there ranking Hex in its right order. So pretty cool on that. CoinMarketCap's failure to properly rank Hex has artificially suppressed Hex value to the detriment of a plaintiff and those similarly situated. For example, but for CoinMarketCap's failure to properly rank Hex, at least some individuals who purchased higher ranked cryptocurrencies could have purchased Hex instead, suppressing the price of Hex and inflating the price of one or more of the other currencies, including those issued by Binance. Similarly, the CoinMarketCap's failure to properly rank Hex has had the effect of direct buyers away from Hex and towards cryptocurrencies that can be purchased through blockchain.com or Binance. And that's a big issue too, right? That sort of a colluding control is a real issue. Upon information belief, this provides a financial advantage to CoinMarketCap, Binance US, Blockchain.com, and individuals associated with the companies, which were the defendants in this class action. CoinMarketCap failure to properly rank Hex has also artificially inflated the value of some or all of the cryptocurrencies ranked above Hex, including those in Binance. Hex is heavily traded for the 24 hours ending July 21st. CoinMarketCap reports that Hex trading volume was $79 million. Trading volume during each of the prior 7 days was higher between May and July. The lowest daily trading volume was $23 million. Hex and other cryptocurrencies received widespread coverage in the financial press and by cryptocurrency analysis. According to codex.com, there were 13 exchanges on which Hex could be traded. This is a cause and effect relationship between unexpected material disclosures and the price of Hex. For example, the inventor of Hex created another cryptocurrency called Pulsechain that was recently made public that holders of Hex would have the opportunity to acquire this new currency at an earlier phase than others, causing or contributing to an increase in the price of Hex. Such a cause and effect relationship exists for other cryptocurrency listed or offered for sale by defendants as well. The market for Hex and some or all other cryptocurrencies ranked above Hex by CoinMarketCap is efficient. So pretty cool on that. And it goes on quite a bit more. Unless we're going to jump down a bit further, you can obviously, I've pasted the link, you can read a lot of the extra stuff there. We've got the class action allegations topic there as well. So there is some personal information by the person making the class action. So here is some of the first cause of the action there. Private cause of action under the Commodity Exchange Act for manipulation of commodity prices and provisions of false, misleading or knowingly inaccurate reports tending to affect the price of commodities. So that's the first part. And then I think there's a couple more there. We've got one up here, I think. Let's scroll down here. We're on page 32 of 46 at the moment. Just scrolling down. Second cause of action. So there's the first cause. Second cause of action, strict liability for violations of the Commodities Exchange Act. So against Binance. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you might get it out of court soon. We'll see how it plays out. So hold your popcorn, as Alex says. The third cause of action, of course, violation of the Arizona Consumer Fraud Act, corporate defendant. So slightly different targeting there. And what else we got? So there's a lot in here. I won't read that. Fourth cause of action, controlled personal liability for violations of Arizona Consumer Fraud Act, or defendants other than CoinMarketCap. So each of them have got different issues. Let's have a look here. Fifth cause of action, antitrust, corporate defendants. Pretty cool on that. And then what else we got? Demand, and of course at the end, a demand for a jury trial. Plaintiffs respectively demand a trial by jury for all claims, so a triable pursuant to federal rule of court procedure and other applicable law. So pretty nice on that. I think that's about the end of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was definitely, it's by Ryan Cox as the plaintiff. Defendants are CoinMarketCap, Binance, BAM, and these individuals here. So pretty cool. We'll see how it goes. Woohoo! The fight is on. Nice. I think that's pretty exciting. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Looking good there. All right, let's close out of that. Bam. Get out of there. Looking good. So yeah, Hex is down at 38.6. Does move around by a few cents, but has been pretty much staying in this kind of range here. We'll watch that for sure. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. That was a bit of a short one, but the biggest thing is that legal action. Obviously, Pulsechain, we're waiting for testnet. That's going to be the next big play. I do feel that we'll probably just move sideways for probably 2 weeks on the Hex price, then we'll move up on that, and then game on. Man, obviously, as Alex said, once we get news about the Pulsechain, I think that's going to be another burst of excitement as well. Who knows? The Hex price could do some crazy stuff in the months ahead. And I'm expecting, some people are saying a launch maybe by 19th of November, which is the anniversary of Big Payday. But then, of course, the actual 2-year anniversary of Hex will be the 2nd of December. So it could be another date as well. And that probably seems more reasonable at this stage, maybe a date like that. So that's for the full launch, of course, Pulsechain. So we'll wait and see how we get on with that. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Do subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. If you want to join as a member of this channel, hit the join button. We've got Axionites, Elites, Heroes, and Krakens, and I do appreciate all the support there. Onwards and upwards. Take care. We will be covering, obviously, Pulsechain as much as often as news comes up. And once again, start getting those bags collected. If you're going to try and get them copied over, you just never know when that's going to happen. All right, take care now. All right, thanks, Alex, as usual, and Neil. Love some of those questions there, and I'll see the rest of you later on. I will be doing the Axion Accelerator daily auction, Accelerator close and open later in the day, probably in a couple of hours from now. So if you want to come back and join me then. Peace out. Cheers.